Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Urban Scope Podcast. Today we'll be talking about the rapper Future, the Atlanta native, Atlanta rapper Future. He was just rewarded or just earned his 11th number one album, which is a huge deal because the only people that have such an accomplishment or more number one albums is Drake, Jay-Z, Taylor Swift, and the Beatles. So that's a huge accomplishment, especially coming from a rapper, especially a trapper, a rapper who just talks about mostly about trap music and mostly drugs. That's a huge feat. I mean, Jay-Z's on this list too, but um, for Future to be such a he's not in the media a lot. He doesn't do a lot of interviews. He's not on social media a lot. I mean, he has accounts, but he rarely posts. And when he do, it's about his albums or his work. He's not posting about his social life or, there's not much into his social life other than like the woman that he dates and the kids that he has. But other than that, it's strictly work with him. So this is a huge feat for somebody who's such an introverted artist. And it sounds like an oxymoron when you think about it, because usually artists are always promoting stuff. They're always out and about. They're always on the social media, promoting something, whether it be music or album or promoting someone else. But he's not in the spotlight as much. You won't find too many interviews of Future. The Breakfast Club did an interview with him before he dropped the Dirty Sprite 2 album. And that's pretty much the only full length interview that you'll find out there on him. So he's very underrated because he's not out there like most people. I kind of compare him to Kendrick Lamar in that way. They pop out to promote an album and then they go back into their homes or go back into their hiding spots and really don't come out much, and other than just to put their music out there. They're pretty much pure artists. They're not interested in the spotlight or things like that. So this is a huge accomplishment for Future. His work ethic is crazy. He dropped 3 number one albums just this year. He was kind of in the middle of the Drake and Kendrick beef when he dropped the song Like That, and Kendrick had the verse dissing Drake on it and dissing J. Cole as well. So he was kind of, he's kind of slept on this year because Kendrick did have a huge year with that, with the diss songs he put out and being awarded the Super Bowl next year. But Future dropped 3 number one albums this year. And like I said, he makes music for the club, for the inner city youth, and for he's unique in that way. He's an older rapper in his 40s, but his fan base is usually younger, like college kids and under usually. And older people listen to his music too, but he has a strong core fan base of the youth, which is very unique to have. You know, Similar to my podcast, what I just did on is Rap a Young Man's Game. He's proven that rap is not about, is it a young man game or old man's game? It's about making timeless music and music that people can relate to. People can come back and listen to 4 or 5 years, 20 years later and still enjoy the music. He's not making music for a time. He's making music that's timeless in some respect. Now, he does have songs that, you know, is more, it's not lyrical, but it's a vibe. So his music is more of the vibe type. But nevertheless, he's very successful in what he does. He doesn't veer off from his style. He's pretty much had the same style and gives us consistent hits and consistent music. And fans appreciate him for that, because we always know when he drops an album or he drops a song, it's going to be a hit. He doesn't miss often. I have never seen him miss on a song. His songs always hit. So kudos to Future for that recent feat. Like I said, it's a big accomplishment just for him to be able to do what he does at a consistent basis. His discography goes all the way back to 2012 as far as albums goes. And ever since 2015 with DS2 all the way to now, he's dropped, I believe, 7 number ones. Well, 9 number one albums since then. So consecutively, he's been dropping #1 albums and hasn't looked back. So every time you see him drop an album, even though the new album is considered a mixtape, they kind of still label it as an album because it's streaming on DSPs. So it's still considered an album, even though it's called Mixtape Pluto, which artists really don't put out mixtapes anymore because the label wants to profit off everything they can. The music industry, like I said, I always say it's not that lucrative, so they want to try to grab every dollar they can. So yeah, but just for him to do this and be in the same breath as Drake, Jay-Z, and Taylor Swift and the Beatles, man, I know coming from Atlanta, where he came from, that's unimaginable. He posted, I want to say yesterday or today, 3 #1s is crazy. But to be able to drop 3 #1 albums in 1 year, yet alone a career. A lot of people can't say they ever had one in their career. He has 3 in just 1 year. And back in 2017, he dropped 2 #1s albums when he had dropped the Future and the Hendrix album. So the Hendrix was more of a singing type album, melodic type raps, and then the Future album was, of course, more just pure rap. But he has a history of dropping these #1s, and his work ethic, like I said, he won't take he won't take too much time off. When he comes back, he's coming back to back. He dropped those albums in the spring this year, and then he came back just last week with another album. So he's out there working. So I don't know if he's going to put out any more music this year, or is he just going to take a year off and come back with more music. But when he comes with music, he usually hits you over the head with about 30, 40 songs. So like I said, congratulations again to Future for his recent accomplishment. And tell me what you guys think about Future as an artist. And then we'll talk about it. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast.